The federation role is to develop youth players before they achieve success.
I think it's going to be a big challenge, but again, we'll have to see new players coming in.
This decision is to impact how we can get more and more players on the top.
Since we started 3+1 foreign player policy, many young talented players came through the system.
This decision should not just come for a year or two, but it should go long. I think that will help the Indian football.
This season, the landscape of Indian football is undergoing a sea change. The All India Football Federation is no longer permitting foreign nationals, men as well as women, to compete in any category of city, district or state leagues in the country. Foreigners can, however, continue to play in the Indian Super League, the top tier of Indian football. What triggered this sudden change? Is Indian football going Swadeshi?
When we allow foreign players to play in Indian football, Indian club football, it is good in a way that you can learn something good from a quality foreigners. But last several years we have realized through our experience that there are also players who are coming as quantity. You can compete with our quality players and you can be there in ISL and I-League. But there are state league or I-League too. There is no foreigners. So that's how, if 1,000 of Indian striker will get match practices, this is the reason All India Football Federation has taken this decision.
It's a good decision for the future of football in India. We are not able to see the players from India getting the game time, and that's how they don't get to come to the top of their performance. The committee deliberated and we decided that the foreign players we need to restrict. We first restricted at the second division level, and then we have now extended it to all the leagues at the state level as well.
So it's a good move to give the more chances to the local boys, to the Indian players. So that might help to to gain and to have more and more strikers coming in Indian football. It's a good way to promote Indian footballers, but the Indian footballers should make the best use of it. By AIFF banning the foreign players to play in the local leagues won't just be a satisfactory thing unless and until the Indian players with the local boys pull up their socks and say this is a great opportunity for me to to play for the country or for the state team.
It's a great move, but I think AIFF priority should be making sure that every state and every union territory in India should be conducting their state league and at the same time doing the grassroots leagues.
Clearly, India's football authorities want to catch them early. The AIFF's recently announced Blue Cubs program that will kick off this year will spot children as young as 4 to blood them into the sport and groom them for the future.
Blue Cubs is our latest project, as this is also in line with Vision 2047, where we have envisioned that by 2047, 100 million children should be part of football. The idea is how we can engage more children, who we can have more activities at the grassroots level, how we can energize the stakeholders, how we can bring about a sea change in terms of engaging the whole community in football.
To start a program is always great for federation, but to implement is a big challenge. As I said, 60 to 70% of the states don't have their even senior division league. So forget the grassroots league. Blue Cubs is for the grassroots. So the states are not doing even their domestic senior league. Where are they going to go and invest and do some grassroots program?
Well, I think it's very important what AIFF has done in terms of having a vision which is 25-year vision. state association has to really work as per the visions of AIFF to make this really work together.
You know, all these things, whatever the AIFF wants to implement, for that I think the performance of the players should really be improving, and only then we can say yes, what the AIFF has done is good for the Indian players and for the management as well.
Indian national football team coach Igor Stimac has played a significant role in grooming homegrown talent. Stimac has sought a larger pool of players to choose from for the national team. With the no foreigner rule, more domestic players will get a chance to shine on the platforms other than ISL. This will give the national scouts more options to choose from.
It's a proof how great help was pushing to change the foreign players policy in India. Since we started 3+1 foreign player policy, many young talented players came through the system, and we had many more options now, you know. So it's good that they are playing, that they are getting minutes on the pitch, and the best thing for the national team is that most of our young players are of the age of 21 and 22, and they already have certain international experience. So in a 2-3 year time, when they become 25, 26, we're going to be one of the strongest teams in Asia. I'm quite sure about that.
It's very important that he gets a bigger pool. When he says bigger pool, I think you need bigger and more teams in ISL. You need more teams in I-League. So what he's trying to say is, I think he's got limited players option to choose from, and that can only happen when you have a longer ISL and a bigger ISL. So when you have more numbers, the tournament becomes longer, and then I think the number of players playing that tournament, ISL or I-League, becomes more, and that is where he gets the bigger pool.
Coach having a problem of selecting or having a problem of many is very good, especially given the current scenario of Indian football and the way it's evolving. Definitely, so if every state is developing local football, conducting leagues and giving only opportunities to the local players, will obviously develop players and give a bigger talent pool to the national team coach to select from. So I think it will be a great step forward.
Captain Fantastic Sunil Chhetri is in the twilight of his career. There seems to be no worthy successor on the horizon to take the baton from the Indian national team's star striker. The glut of foreign players in the ISL, the biggest televised showcase for football in the country, means they play in key positions such as striker, centre-backs and in the midfield. The vacuum created by Chhetri's imminent retirement could be filled if new homegrown strikers appear on the horizon.
I think immediately there will be a lot of challenges, because we've not seen anybody who can score consistently like Sunil for the national team. So that gap is going to be huge. I hope somebody comes and fills up the space where Sunil, after his retirement, most probably after Asia Cup. So I think it's going to be a big challenge, but yeah, again, we'll have to see new players coming in.
This decision is to impact how we can get more and more players on the top, and that is what it will be of help, because we need players at every level. We need players at big numbers of high quality.
With the AIFF taking the Swadeshi route, a new era is beginning in Indian football. Will the focus on developing domestic talent help achieve the dream of seeing India at the World Cup? The target has been logged, but we will need long-term concerted efforts to realize it.
The federation role is to develop youth players before they achieve success. We have to develop players. So therefore we need to create more match time and more scope for Indian player to get into first team.
Really say or know whether it's a start of the new era, because I think even in the past, AIFF had decided to ban the foreign players playing in the local leagues. This decision should not just come for a year or two, but it should go long. I think that will help the Indian football.
Whole football ecosystem has to work together for a similar goal, which is seeing India qualify for at least the under 17 and under 20 World Cups to start with, and then we would try to visualize what it takes to take India to the Senior World Cup.
You know, whatever theory, whatever projects you start on paper does not really happen. So we've seen a lot of vision. We've seen a lot of programs that started, but at the end, I think it's how you implement in the grassroots level is more important.